Just when you think it can't get any worse for the Pittsburgh Steelers, it does. Julian Edelman goes on his podcast with Matt Patricia and says the Steelers defense, that Mike Tomlin and the Steelers defense has been running the same defense for the past 30 years. Let's jump into the video.
You knew exactly what they were doing every time, and they still do what they do. They still do the same goddamn shit that when I was playing Tomlin's defense.
Steeler football.
I'm like, what the? We still have linebackers covering the 3 slot?
Yeah.
Oh
every time we play the Steelers, I have at least 9 catches.
Coach,
You would think that they would change it.
They're right.
No, but they do what they do. You knew exactly what they were doing
did
every
what
time,
they
and
did.
they still do what they do. They still do the same goddamn shit that when I was playing Tomlin's defense.
Steeler football.
I'm like, what the? We still have linebackers covering the 3 slot?
Yeah.
Every time we play the Steelers, I have at least 9 catches.
Coach,
You would think that they would change it.
They're right.
No, but they do what they do. You knew exactly what they were doing
did
every
what
time.
they
And
did.
they still do what they
I can't watch anymore. So, I mean, I wonder if Art Rooney saw this. I wonder if Art Rooney sees these things. So, you have a linebacker on arguably one of the greatest slot receivers ever, and he eats you alive for 9 catches, 150 yards at 2 touchdowns. It's just when you think it can't get worse, it just gets worse. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. The only thing left to hear now is that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to re-sign Russell Wilson and use their number 1 draft pick on Jalen Milrose. I mean, it could possibly get worse. It really could. Oh, God. They're sitting there just Why do you think Bill Belichick won all these Super Bowls? Okay, fine. First of all, the argument that you'll hear from woke ESPN all the time, racist Ryan Clark and the rest of the racists at ESPN, Bill Belichick was only good because of Tom Brady. This is football. This is not basketball or baseball. Every great coach has great players. They pick the players. What great coach do you know in the NFL who doesn't have great players? So give me a break. And we all know why racist Ryan Clark is saying that. You know, it's funny that racist Ryan Clark is on that show now with Belichick, you know, where they go over the games together. I would love for Bill to look at him and say, so, Ryan, you said I was too white to coach the Atlanta Falcons. What was that all about? But hey, no big deal. Just another day in racist Ryan Clark's world where he gets paid millions of dollars to be the racist that he is. But that's a whole different video. So, why do you think the Patriots won all those Super Bowls? Yes, they had Tom, and they had some great players. But it's a known fact that the Patriots every week would make a new game plan for every team. They didn't attack the team the same way on offense and defense every single week. They schemed their guys on offense to get opened. They schemed their guys on defense to get sacks and to make plays on the ball. The Steelers aren't scheming. It's one thing when I say it, when I watch all 22 film and say they're not scheming. It's another thing when Julian Edelman, an all-pro Super Bowl champion, and Matt Patricia, the nemesis of the Pittsburgh Steelers, are saying that the Pittsburgh Steelers don't scheme, that they don't change anything. And now that they don't have the players from Bill Cowher's roster, elite players, now you're seeing the results. It's one thing if you have elite players and you don't scheme, you can kind of get away with it here and there. Now all of a sudden you don't have the same type of locker room, the same type of players. And what's happening? What's happening is this. The Steelers are losing 5 games in a row and losing the first round of the playoffs and giving up 200 rushing yards to Derrick Henry. That's what's happening. I don't know what to say anymore about this. I don't know. It's like ownership just wants to be complicit and just like turn their heads and be like, no, nothing's going to change. Look, I'm not into purging the roster. I say this all the time. I don't think the Steelers should purge the roster. I know that Art Rooney's never going to fire Mike Tomlin in a million years. But Art Rooney has already closed the door on bringing in other coordinators or other, bringing other people in like a Chuck Pagano to put his input and knowledge into the defense or the offense or paying people to help out. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. We're just going to line up and just kick everybody's ass. We're the Steelers. That's basically what the Steelers are saying. We're not going to hire any consultants. That was the word I was looking for. I'm beside myself listening to Julian Edelman say this right now. So Art Rooney's already said it for the most part. We're not going to bring in any consultants. I don't believe that our offensive line is that bad. I don't believe that our receivers are bad. I believe our quarterback is horrible. I've been saying that since day one. Russell Wilson's not the answer. He's never been the answer. Mike Tomlin's in love with the guy. Even after he struggled, he still wouldn't bring Justin Fields in. The ship is sinking, and he still won't put Justin Fields in. But this is the last thing I needed to hear. I mean, I already knew this. But just hearing it be confirmed by Julian Edelman, it's like heartbreaking. Why do the Pittsburgh Steelers think that they don't need to scheme on offense and defense? Why do they think you can't bring back Dick LeBeau and let him be a consultant for the defense? Or somebody else? It's just mind-blowing. And I'll end it with this. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, it gets worse. And then it can only get worse if 24 hours from now you find out that Russell Wilson's going to be resigned and they're wasting their first-round draft pick on Jalen Milrose. Then it just completely implodes the whole thing. You're going to go into next year and go 8-8. Mr. Rooney, please, you're an intelligent man. You're a business owner. You're kind. You're compassionate. You give people second chances. You can't bring in consultants, and I understand you want things to be a certain way. So do I. I want to win with defense. I want to sack the quarterback. I want to crush people in the run game. But it's a game of inches. It's a game where if it's a game of inches, now coaching is more important than it's ever been. And the game is so specialized now that we can win that way, but it has to be done in a different style where it's not so obvious what we're doing all the time. I'm done.